Welcome to another live episode of Halftime Adjustments. It's your hosts, Eddie Arnell, my man, G Whip. What's up, man?
Tighten up, baby. Tighten up.
Man, Jay Lou's going to join us here in a minute, man. But y'all come on in and get in on the show, get your questions and comments in, and just join us, man. Talk about these Titans tonight. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
Man.
But anyway, let me start off the show this way. So last week was a ugly game for the two-tone blue. We had coming off an ugly loss. You saw this offense struggle a lot last week, mainly Tannehill with 4 picks. We had 5 total turnovers, excuse me. And G with the injuries continue to pile up, man. You see AJ Brown placed on the IR, so it's as you saw today on the game, 32 players currently on the IR. This is a record for the NFL. And as of this game, they had tied the record for as many people used on the roster, 84.
Actually, they broke it.
They broke it. That's right. They broke it.
They broke it. When they played Kevin Hogan.
That's right. That's right.
And I forgot one more guy. They broke the record because they now have played 86 players this season. 86, right. And you still got 5 games left to go.
And man, coming into this week though, without AJ Brown, here is your depth chart, G Wit, for the receivers: Westbrook Keeney, Chester Rogers, Dez Fitzpatrick, Cody Hollister. They only had 4. For the day. Hey, you wanted to see what type of offense Downey would draw up for this team today. Knowing that we're down to our 3rd, 4th, and 5th receivers, and could Tannehill rebound and lead this team to victory and keep that number 1 seed going into the bye. So results: Patriots 36, Titans 13. G Whit, talk to me, man. Right. Give me those first reactions.
Okay. Look at it. Let's be honest about it. This is the second sloppy game in a row.
Yep.
4 turnovers, also 1 for 3. On 4th down. So, I count not making a 4th down.
That's
basically
right.
I look at that as being a turnover.
Right.
I thought really when they came out with a good game plan to establish the run. We ran the ball well.
Right.
With the exception of that first series from the opening kickoff. After that, I thought we were running the ball extremely well. I mean, obviously we had over 200 yards rushing, but the problem you have is that you also had fumbles. You had 2 major fumbles that just didn't make any kind of sense.
Right.
I really don't count that one by blessing game because that's the end of the game. It's no big deal.
Right.
But the one by Foreman is the one that killed me. Yeah. I'm like, first of all, running back 101, when you break into the open and you're running down the field, what's the first thing you do? Switch the ball to hand closer to the out of bounds, because if it gets punched out, it's more likely going to go out of bounds. Running back 101, he didn't do that. A receiver struggled getting open. Tannehill play action, he had time to throw the ball, but obviously nobody was getting open.
Right.
Tight ends were basically non-existent. They were not getting open. Todd Downing had some suspect play calling, especially when they made that drive all the way down. And on the second down play, you're gonna do something crazy like trying to throw a pass or whatever. I'm like, come on, dude. It just didn't make any sense.
Right.
Even if it worked, you wouldn't like that play. And again, the defense, I think, got tired. They had issues with coverage. They had issues with tackling. Really didn't get a whole lot of pressure on Mac Jones at all. Linebacker play was weak, I thought. And then you end up losing Monty Rice for the game. And possibly if he goes back on IR, lost him for the season.
Right.
I thought the secondary had poor coverage on a lot of things. It really just didn't make any sense. Then Jack Rabbit goes down. So
add him to the list.
Add him to the list. Special teams, Fat Randy disappointed us big time. Bad enough you missed the extra point, dunking it off the upright, but you did the same thing on a field goal. You done. As soon as it left his foot, you knew it was going to hit the upright. It was just a straight line. just had way too many penalties, too many turnovers. And this is a team that's got to play better and got to play with more discipline. Now, saying all that, I'm going to say this, and you got to give me a little leeway, Eddie, on this one, because I've been, social media has been ripping Tannehill apart.
They have.
They have been just absolutely ripping him apart. So I'm going to say this. All those naysayers on Tannehill, you need to back off. You really need to back off, because what have we always said, man? We said the difference between Tannehill and Miami and Tannehill with the Titans was the amount of talent that he had around him with the Titans.
Right.
That talent is gone at the skill position. He does not have, little jabroni.
What's going on, gent? Sorry about what's going on.
That's okay, man.
Sorry about my tardiness, man. Playing daddy duty right now.
That's okay. That's okay. But what I was saying, J. Lou, was people dogging out Tannehill on social media. And we've always said the one thing about Tannehill is that he's a game manager. The benefit that he had coming to the Titans was the fact that the level of talent we had around him here was better than what he ever had in Miami. And now I'm not excusing him for anything. You still got to play well, but when you're going back into pass and nobody's getting open, and you're having to force some things, that causes a problem. We got to stop having these self-inflicted mistakes, man. Fumbles, penalties, bad play calling, bad play execution. Bottom line is, we've always known this. Tannehill is not the guy who's going to elevate poor talent. He's just not going to do it. He's not Tom Brady.
Right.
He's not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Drew Brees. He's never going to be that type of quarterback that's going to elevate lesser talent. But what he can do is manage a game when you got talent around. And he can make plays and continue drives and things of that nature. So, right now, just like you said, what we need to do is get healthy with this bye week. Big Jeff said the same thing. Get rejuvenated both mentally and physically. Come back ready to play and ready to finish out this stretch run to make it to the playoffs.
So, J. Lou, I'm going to come to you just a second, man. Let me get my first reactions in. So, G. Witch, you said a lot there, man. A mouthful, and I appreciate that. Here we go. So, missed opportunities is what I'm going to call this football game. Missed opportunities because I thought we played fairly well considering the talent we put on the field today. Now, these guys are NFL players. They're professionals. So, they should play at a different level. Regardless of where they are on the depth chart. I mean, you're in the NFL for a reason. And so I thought they played pretty well, especially in the run game. I was really surprised you had 2 running backs over 100 yards. If you'd have told me that before the game started, going against this New England defense is one of the best in the league, I was like, yeah, we're going to win the game. And so missed opportunities, Byard out of position. He makes a great play in the end zone it's good coverage. It's just, he couldn't knock the ball out of his hands, right?
Yeah,
it is what it is. But the next time he almost got caught, Hunter Henry, he just a bad throw by Mac Jones. And again, out of position. I don't know, why he was so far out of position on that play. No pressure. And I think Dion said it in the chat. No pressure at all. When they brought pressure, they got home. Byard gets a sack on a safety blitz. Even when they brought the corner blitz, of course, New England knew that's what they're going to run because they run that 80% of the time anyway. And so no different pressures today with the linebackers, anything. Turnovers continue to plague this team. Another 4 today. That's 9 in the last 2 weeks, plus the 4th down conversions that are not conversions. And so, -8 turnover differential for this football team. Fumble on a big drive, G, which you said it. Interception in the end zone. I blame that on Todd Downing most off. He had a 2-man route to one side of the field. Not really sure why he called that particular play. Got to be better in the red zone. No effort. So to me, missed tackles is effort. Your effort is lacking when you miss so many tackles. And so a lot of people that's coming up hitting, not wrapping up today. That's something we talked about the last couple of weeks about missed tackles for this football team, how they've gone back to that. And it was just as well as they played in the first half and the third quarter, and this to give it away in the fourth quarter like the way they did. It was just disheartening because I really thought we had a chance, the way we were hanging in there and shutting down the New England run game, which is so big for them. And so, Jay Lou, talk to us about your first reactions after this game today.
Yeah, so my first reactions, I agree with you on missed opportunities. I hope that Jack Rabbit, they left in New England, and Todd Downing should have found his own way back home too. Because the play calling today, I think that 4th and goal that he threw the interception on, I think that was a prime play call for the Tannehill fake read option. Because because at that point in time the run game was working, and we just went away from that. We didn't call that at all. So I agree with you, Ed. If you would have told me we'd have 200-yard rushers, yeah, we win this game easily. If you look at the Titans over the last 2 weeks, I guess if you look for the silver lining is as bad as the offense probably has played the last 2 weeks. Right. You're starting to see them get in some type of groove when you start looking at the yardage and all that they're putting together. I mean, the run game has got going the last 2 weeks. It was a lot better today. I think that the Hall of Famer being removed from the running back room helped these two guys mentally. Yeah. I just think that they didn't have that shadow. I mean, Adrian Peterson, that shadow can cast over you. And the fumbles from both of them. I looked at both of those runs, and in my head, I said, man, if that's 22, that's touchdowns both times.
Oh yeah,
because he's not getting caught, and he's pulling away from him. I agree with you, G. Witt. I think the defense near the end got tired. Lack of effort is missed tackling. That one touchdown down the sidelines.
Oh my God!
I mean, all we had to do was blow on him, and he goes out of bounds. And nobody, I'm pretty certain if you go back and look at the tape, Jayon Brown was just standing there and swiped at him like this.
Yep,
I mean,
that's all he did.
It was pathetic. G. Witt, you said it about 3 weeks ago, Neff, I think about it. And at first I was like, I give it a check. I'm starting to agree with you, sir. Jayon Brown and Rice, it's a big drop off in the inside linebackers. It's a huge drop off. So I'll say I think the offensive line played well. Looking for some silver linings, I think the offensive line played well. Another week where all 5 stayed healthy. And again, we got Brewer in there. We haven't seen the drop off that you thought we'd have with Nate Davis being out, and I think you like to see that. As we get ready to gear up for this stretch run. But I mean, the bye week couldn't come at a better time. If I'm Vrabel, I just tell the players, get away. I mean, I don't even want to come in looking at no video. Just get away. We fly back into Nashville tonight, come in for some treatment tomorrow, and then we'll see you next Sunday. But this team's got to get, I think a lot of the players, as you heard them say it after the game, and Vrabel, they've got to get not only physically back to right, but they got to get mentally right. And again, 13 weeks is a lot of football without no break. So I think that, again, it's another silver lining. If we would have looked when we did our schedule show, none of us had them going 8-4 into the bye week. Right. So you got to call that a victory. I mean, 8-4, still got a 2-game in the lose column, 3-game really against over Indianapolis in the AFC South.
Thank you, Tampa Bay.
Thank you, Tampa Bay. Yes.
Leonard Fournette. Glad to see you run.
Yes. So you gear up for December, and it just goes to show that you got to win the games you should have won. I mean, if you look at this, we lost to the Jets and the Texans. I mean, and those are 2 games that, could come back and bite us from having the home field advantage. But again, the final score wasn't a reflection of the game. We were in that game until it got away on that 4th down. So that's my first reaction, fellas.
Right. And so let me get some of these comments in, G Witt, and I'm gonna come back to you. But Randy Dark Bullock, Rodney says, let me say we beat ourselves in this game. I completely agree with you on that, Rodney. Boogeyman says we were going back to playing DBs 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. We did. I sit there in one play and I counted. Christian Fulton was 8 yards off the receiver, and he was only 2 yards in front of the sticks. I mean, what good does that make? But, bad play calling on the goal line. I agree with you. Will says we'll end up meeting them again in the playoffs. We'll be healthy this time. And I agree with you, Jay Lou. The silver lining is the offensive line blocked well. Hey, if we're healthy, we beat New England today. I mean, you think about what we did with some backup running backs and some 3rd and 4th string receivers, hung in the game 3 quarters. At least 3 quarters, almost, and in 4th quarter we just went on meltdown because I agree with you, G Witt and J Lou both. The defense got tired and we just couldn't stop them. And then Jayon Brown, though, I'm gonna say this real quick and I'll let you go. Jayon Brown, man, he is not only did that run down the sideline was he bad, but he was out of position on Jonnu Smith's catch. I mean, he's like he didn't even try. He ran right by him, and so that, to me, that's just effort. Effort, it goes a long way playing football. And if you're not going to tackle, that's just poor effort. And so go ahead, J. Lou.
One other thing I forgot, man, and it was frustrating me watching the game. Going into this game, Mac Jones, if you follow the Patriots all season, they're not pushing the ball down the field.
No,
the way they beating you is tight end and running back screens, and we couldn't cover that for nothing today. Every screen was wide open outside of the times when he made a bad throw on them. So that was kind of frustrating that we knew going in they're gonna dink and dunk you down the field, and yet we had no defense for that setup.
Well, and the other bad thing about it too, now that since you're mentioning that, is that basically what we did today, and I bad as I hate to say it, I'm gonna say it anyway. It was like the pretty was running his defense, because they blitzed twice?
Yeah, not much.
You got a rookie quarterback and you put no pressure on him whatsoever.
Right.
You expect to get there before, and you knew. Bottom line is, really, Harold Landry was pushing. Jeffrey was pushing, but you wasn't getting that up the field push like you had been getting. And I was gonna say this: Bud Dupree going on IR really hurt that front four.
Yes,
it really hurt that front. Right now you don't have anybody on the other side of Harold Landry that people have to be concerned with.
Nah,
not like it was when Bud Dupree was in there. But really, overall, we did okay. I thought the offensive line played good overall with the pass protection and with the run, especially with the run blocking. They really opened up some holes and everything. But really, we just got this. This is just one team that we have got to get together mentally and physically, like Big Jeff said in his interview after the game. He come in, look at the film, see what you did wrong, understand the correction. He said you still got to stay sharp, so you can't completely get away from the game, but you got to get away a little bit just to give your body and your mind a rest, to try to heal up as best you can. He said you're never going to be 100% the season, but because even he said on that long run where Jayon Brown missed the tackle, he said we can't just assume somebody's going out of bounds. He said I know that was my fault. He said because that's what he did.
Right. And so guess what? I like what I saw the Big Jeff today. You see him running down the field.
Man.
How many tackles he make down the field?
Yes.
He's the one tackling the screen runners.
That's what I was going to say. The screen pass, he had cleanup shots.
Yeah. And to your point, J. Lou, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Jonnu Smith caught way too many passes just dragging across the middle without a linebacker going with him at all.
Man,
it was just pathetic. Byard had his mistakes and everything, Jack, but there were some fundamental things defensively that obviously Shane Bowen didn't think they were going to have to deal with, and New England just took advantage of it. You had a rookie quarterback, again, this goes back to the pretty, who threw for over 300 yards on it because you didn't get any pressure on it.
Right. So, again, you tell me, though, that the Titans are going to have 2 running backs rush for 100 yards and have over 350 yards of offense. That's a dub.
You would think.
Yeah. But the turnovers, man, hurt. And, the offense, we talked about the offense, they run block well today. I just couldn't capitalize on the situations they were put in. And then the turnovers. I don't care who you are. Turnovers will get you beat. You saw it again this week. If a team like Houston, which is a poor football team, if we turn the ball over and they beat us, then you knew what was going to happen today with the turnovers we had. And the defense, again, missed tackles, out of position, not enough pressure from the front, and not enough blitzing. And then just the effort in general. So let me get some more comments in, guys. And so Dion was asking who we were expecting to return after the bye week. So we know Julio will be back. AJ Brown's going to miss another 2 games because he just went on IR. And Bud Dupree will be back after the Jags game because that'll be his 3rd game. And so
Dane Cruikshank.
And so we're going to start getting some of these playmakers that we
and maybe you hope the 2 that didn't even hit IR come back in.
Rashad Evans, he got to play, right? Because we got people going down to the linebacker position. Dylan Cole, man, he had a pick today and he dropped it. That was huge. But so hopefully, man, we see those guys coming back after the bye. The bye couldn't get here quick enough. And it is what it is. Even on special teams, we talked about Fat Randy, but Curran didn't have a great day punting like he normally does. I know the wind had a factor in it, but normally he's putting people back, pinning them back, kicking it out of bounds where they don't have any kind of return. And you just didn't see it today. And it was just overall, the team didn't play well in none of the 3 phases. After, like I said, 3rd quarter, they played great. And then it just like I think they just ran out of steam, man.
It's finally
Jay Lee, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in all honesty, I think, like Jay Lou said, when they threw that fourth quarter, that interception right at the beginning of the fourth quarter on that 4th and goal, I think that took the wind out of the defensive sails. Yeah. Because up until then, I mean, you think about it, you drive the ball, you hold the ball for what, 8 minutes and some odd seconds?
Right.
Yes.
Right. And not only do you come away with no points, you throw an interception in the end zone, so that means they get the ball on the 20.
The 20. Yep.
At least if you threw an incompletion, they would have the ball at the 2?
The 2-yard line.
That gives your defense a chance to, to really get fired up to try to do something.
Right.
But you threw an interception, so they get the ball to 20, so now the whole playbook is open to them. So it's just one of them games, man, where, like you said, Eddie, you just knew you couldn't go into New England making mistakes. Nah. You just couldn't.
No.
And it started from the first. I mean, think about it. The first punt. Right. You get 2 penalties on the offense.
Right off the bat.
One of them was on the gunner, and I don't even know how you get that called on you.
Right.
I don't
Oh my gosh.
So then you have to punt again, and of course they gained 20 yards on the second punt.
Right. It was like a 32-yard swing from that penalty.
Yeah, so it started from there. And I mean, you're fighting uphill from then on, and then it just went from there. I mean, Fat Randy misses field goals, he misses extra points. I mean, you have that going on. They had a couple of good run backs where people just didn't tackle well. New England, I thought the worst starting position, field position, really, I think was what? On the 20?
The 20.
It was a touchback.
It was a touchback. Yes.
Right.
Everything else, they were either the 30 or right at the 40-yard line, so they always had a short field to work with. The fact that the defense held them to field goals for so many, 5 field goals?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now. That's really, you winning some games with that. But we couldn't score.
That's right.
We couldn't get in the end zone. So it just, like you said earlier, blown opportunities.
Yeah, and again, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. Eddie Arnell G with J. Lou and little bitty J. Lou on the scene with us tonight, baby. Tighten up, man. Tighten up. Yeah, Darius.
Like, what's going on?
Bud Dupree, his third game would be after the Jags game would be his third week that he'd be off.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they count the bye week and miss game as far as
they don't.
You got to miss games.
Yeah, and so he'll be back after that week. But to your point, G Witt, something I was thinking about as you guys were talking. So, with Bud Dupree gone, right, and we know it's a big hit. So now we're playing Danico out of his position.
Yes.
And so now we're missing that interior pressure with him, Big Jeff, and T.R. Tart, because you don't have that push in the middle anymore like you were getting with those three guys. And not to say that Naquan Jones, because he played good again today, in my opinion. He had another sack, half a sack. And so, but you're missing that. You got people playing out of position like we talked about last week. You got Harold Landry dropping back in coverage because there's so many injuries at the outside linebacker position. But I agree with you. Somebody said it. I think they were ready for the bye week by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, and they just ran out of gas. They just ran out of gas.
Let's be honest with you. When Vrabel goes forward on 4th and 14 from his own 25-yard line,
you knew it was a wrap then.
Okay, he just said the game's over.
Yes,
he just said it right then because you just don't do that.
Right.
He just said the game's over, and you saw that with the next possession, the whole offense, with the exception of Brewer, I think the whole starting offense was sitting on the sideline.
I'm not gonna lie, I was glad to see that on offense and defense. He learned that mistake from last week when we got Tart carted off. So
that's right.
I did not mind him throwing in the white towel and let's just get on out of there.
Just get out of there. I mean, he already lost Monty Rice.
They
hadn't said what his injury is, but he was automatically considered out. So that was bad enough. So I thought it was good that he got him in there. I knew they weren't gonna do nothing but run the ball. Sorry to see Blasingame give up a fumble. I know he didn't want to do that, but really they just need to go come in, get treated, look at film, go over the film, and just go home.
Yeah.
And do whatever they need to do to get away from the football for a while. Taylor Wine said he just wants to see his kids. That's all.
Hey, and J. Lou mentioned it earlier, 13 weeks, but you got to count preseason too. So really, you got 16 weeks.
16 weeks.
and think about it like this, fellas. I mean, New England doesn't have a bye week until after next Sunday.
The next one, yep.
But nobody has had the injuries like we have had.
No.
And if they have, their record is not what ours is.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think New Orleans is the closest one, and still their record, you can see the end result on their record. But I mean, for us to be 8-4 with all these injuries and everything, you done played 86 different players. I have to give kudos to the coaching staff for getting people ready.
You got to, man. You got to. Like I said, you got guys playing offense. Take your hat off to Dez Fitzpatrick today too, man. He ran a better route, made a great catch. Learned from last week when he ran some short. He ran his routes a little short, had an interception or two as a result. And so, take your hat off to the young guy. He's working hard. But again, to your point, G-Wit, playing guys that don't normally play, play more special teams than they do snaps on the field in the regular offense. And so, I mean, you got to give credit to Vrabel and these guys for making it through the first 12 weeks at 8-4. Jay Lou, to your point, man, who would have thought? Who would have thought? If you'd have told me Derrick Henry is going to get hurt and we was going to miss Julio Jones is going to be out and AJ Brown's going to be out and Bud Dupree, that we was going to be 8-4 and sitting currently with the third seed in the playoff standings after today's loss. But, still a lot of football left, and I just can't wait till we get healthy and potentially get Derrick Henry back. And so as we look at the AFC South standings after 12 weeks, you got the Titans at 8-4. The Colts, thank you again, Tampa Bay, 6-6, and the Texans and the Jags rounded up at
Tampa Bay
at 2-9. So, next week the opponent is the bye week, man, undefeated against the bye.
Yes, sir.
We hope they get some rest, man, and get away and come back energized, ready to go, because I think you saw it today. The last 2 weeks, actually, it finally caught up to them. And you can only do so much, man. You're tired and you're playing with guys that hardly ever play, and the guys that don't get reps a bunch. I thought Cody Hollister played well today too.
I thought he did too.
His opportunities he got, and so
he took a nice hit early in the game.
Oh yeah, he got the wind knocked out of him.
He got the wind knocked out of him.
Right.
But going along with what you said, Eddie, you stop and think about it. You realize, we talk about the players being tired and everything. What you're seeing though is a lot of players who normally would get rest, not getting any rest during the game. There's no rotation. Right. I mean, Jeff Simmons is hardly coming out the game at all, and Harold Landry's not coming out. So you just start seeing these type of things happen. Again, Jayon Brown, for whatever reason, I guess the injuries have caught up with him. He's not what he was. A couple of seasons ago. And I think the other thing too about the other linebackers is just, the team speed that we had is gone right now, especially on defense. Yeah. That team speed is just gone. I mean, we just don't have enough out there. And I thought that Molden didn't play a particularly good game today. He missed a few tackles and everything. Yeah. So did Hooker. Hooker missed a few. Yeah. And I think that's just one of the things that's happening. You're seeing the younger players, outside of Bayard and Jeffrey Simmons. You've seen a lot of the younger players. They just don't have that stamina to keep up with what's been going on, especially with all the playing that they've had to do because we have no rotation.
Right. Deion said, don't get too happy the way the things are going. We might get injured during the bye week too.
I'm expecting Monty Rice to be put on IR when Tuesday rolls around.
Yeah, he'll be done for the season then.
Yeah.
But thank you guys once again for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. If you didn't get your questions answered, man, please continue to send them. We can get to them on the website, on our site. Website, on our Facebook page. We'll answer them as soon as we can. But gents, man, we got a bye week next week. We get a chance to take us a break too. Been going hard at it for 16 weeks. So we'll be back the following week as the Titans take on the Jags at home. And I got to do this, man, before we get off. Little J. Lou, you got anything to say, man? Tighten up, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Tighten up, man. Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up.
When does David Long come?
I gotta do something.
Is David Long coming back after? Is he coming back for Jacksonville?
He's not on IR. He's not on IR. It's anytime. Right. Yeah.
That's right. So him and Rashad Evans are not on IR. So
him and Rashad Evans are those injuries that they kind of give you the Dory Jackson feel of last year. You had no idea what was going on, and they never put him on IR, and voila, we pop back up. So you hope that a week of rest gets both of them back.
Man, I hope so.
You hope they come back in practice because they hadn't practiced.
Yeah, that's true. They hadn't
practiced in like 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, and Rashad Evans was supposed to had an ankle injury. So I'm like, did he break it or what? Because, I mean, they've kept him on there and, you know, they've used them as part of the inactives, both of them, you know, to make the inactive list a little bit better. So I guess, I mean, you know, it's mixing the easy inactive, but we got to get some better playing out of this wide receiving core and the tight ends, man. The tight ends are really disappointing right now, especially Perska, man. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's been a huge, huge disappointment, and they just flat out. I just have to give credit to what credit's due. New England took them away today.
Oh, yeah. They did,
and they were pretty much non-existent. I mean, Tannehill didn't have any bailouts. I thought Hilliard on one pass play. You know, if he continues to run to the ball, he catches a pass. Instead, he slowed up on his route, and Tannehill ended up throwing that. He went past him with the outstretched hand. I know Tannehill wants that pass back with Chester Rogers, but I'm thinking, okay, who did Chester Rogers run it the wrong way?
Missed
because
opportunities.
Tannehill threw it out, and he cut in. So again, you're looking at those type of things, man, where you know it's just. And Tannehill made some bad throws too. He made some throws that were behind receivers and everything. He had one, I think it was Dakota Hollister, that if he throws it in front of him, he has a better chance of catching it instead of getting it knocked down.
Yeah, he threw it behind him.
Yeah. He was throwing the ball late too. So, you know, it was just bad, man. We all need a bye week. We all need a bye week.
Right.
You know, I need a Sunday where I ain't got to be worrying about this stuff, man. Because I'm too young, man. I'm too young for this.
Yeah, Rashad Evans, I think it was Nathan asked. He's been out for almost a month now. Yeah, he's missed the last how many? 6 weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna say
6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So and we don't know what's wrong with him.
Been out since the Rams game.
Yeah, he's at 4 weeks, I think, for him.
4 weeks, and so
4 weeks
again after the bye. Hopefully, we see those guys back. We need them. Deion said we keep laughing, but Logan Woodside is the answer for it. Man, we know you just kidding, man. You can't be serious, right? You can't be serious, right? I don't think so. He might. You never know, man. You can put the right person in the right situation. You never know what you're gonna get. But anyway, thank you.
But you know,
go ahead.
Just to go along with that, you got to figure Tannehill needs a break too, man, because he's been dealing with a lot. I mean, you know, like I said, he doesn't have that talent around him that he had like last year and the year before, where you know it was consistent week in and week out. He didn't have to. Maybe one receiver went down, but not you know the top 3 or whatever the case may be. So you know this year, and plus you know let's just be honest about it. Ty Downing has been a little bit up and down. He's had some good games. He's had some bad games, man. So the play calling has been suspect as well. Hasn't been consistent either. So I'm not sure. I mean, I know he's not running play action as much as he did in those wins. So.
Right. And he's still not moving the part. He moved a little bit today, but not a whole bunch.
I know.
And running them 2-man routes, you know, on 4th
with
and goal,
receivers who can't get open.
Right. And on 4th and goal at that, I just
little Jay Lou agrees with me on that one.
Right. There you go, little Jay Lou. There you go, baby. So again, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. Check us out. We'll be back the Sunday after next. We'll take a bite next week with the team, get rejuvenated, come back, man, with the after the Jaguars game and break it down. Thank y'all again, man, for joining us. Hey down there, J. Lou, G. Witt, Halftime Adjustments. Lil Jabbar, give me some more, baby. Give me some more. Tighten up.
Tighten up, baby. Tighten up.
Peace.